Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well today. Wishing you all the best. I'm assuming this is working. Positive vibes that it is. If you're in chat, let me know. So I am Jason Petho. I am the developer for the campaign series games, along with Petri, who is now the lead programmer, which is all exciting. Yeah, just waiting to see if there's anyone here. Positive vibes, though. Anyways, what we're going to be doing is playing Campaign Series Vietnam. I will be playing the first battle, which is Operation Starlite. This is a relatively small scenario for Vietnam. It does have a lot of goodies in it. That's why we're going to play it. It is a 1965 battle, basically one of the first operations that happened during that time in 1965. So let's see. Utilizing ARVN intelligence from our First Corps, a plan was devised to preemptively strike the Viet Cong 1st Regiment at its base area around Van Thuong. Intended to be called Operation Satellite, a clerical error destined the foray to be penned as Operation Starlight. The combined arms operation involved units from the 7th Marines and air naval assets. D-Day was scheduled for early morning hours of August 18th, 1965, and the 3rd Battalion. Hey, Natkinway, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. D-Day was scheduled for early morning hours of August 18th, 1965, with the 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines conducting an amphibious landing in LVTs across Green Beach, followed shortly by 2nd, 4th Marines landing in designated landing zones red, white, and blue, northwest of Green Beach. Prior to the landings, M Company, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines landed north of Van Thuong to establish blocking positions. With the elements hitting the ground, the plan was to encircle the 1st VC Regiment and corral them to the sea, to their eventual destruction. Apart from the sniper fire, things were going according to plan until the Duggan 60th VC Battalion and Murphy's Law stepped in. Let's take a look. So we are going to play Side A. We're going to have the Fog of War here. That basically means that we have all these options checked. Enhanced Fog of War means that we're not going to be able to see anything. Enhanced Spotting means that we can't spot by the map. Reporting means that the reporting will be limited because there is Fog of War. If that was turned off, then you'd have more options. Enhanced Assault really improves how the assaulting actually works and things that you need to think about during that assaulting. We'll go over that as we play. Enhanced Close Air Support. There are 2 different types of air support here within the game, so that is something that you can either choose your packages or let the Legacy AI take care of it. Adaptive AI, which is a whole bunch, like 100 plus settings for each individual nation, which is super handy. Indirect fire by the map, that's self-explanatory. Same with vehicle facing effects, obviously that's the same. Command and control, that is how the supply system works. Very highly, really important to use. Variable visibility, that's just added some little flavor. Basically what that does, it will change a plus or a minus visibility on a turn-by-turn basis. And historical landing zones, all the scenarios are designed for that, so you can't land anywhere, you have to land in designated landing zones, which was pretty standard for operations. Alright, let's get started. Alright, with Vietnam, this is one of the most important things that you need to take a look at and you need to read. You need to understand what's going on. Mostly what you need to understand is what the mission is, and this gives you some hints on executing it properly. So this is basically just telling you what the situation is, what kind of forces are around, what kind of forces are expected, and here it usually will break down what your missions are for that particular scenario. How you do those, how you complete the missions is up to you, but you do need to complete these missions. Alright, so, what is it saying here? We are ordered to preemptively strike the Viet Cong before they can launch their attack. Objectives of the missions are to secure all the villages in the area and to destroy the VC regiment. So that's a very big clue right there. Destroy the regiment. The operation will be a combined arms assault involving air and naval units. Some of the Marines will be inserted by helicopters, while other Marines will be deployed by amphibious landing. That's super. You will land the 3rd Battalion at An Quang and proceed inland, clearing villages along the way. You have attached armored units to assist with the advance. The 2nd 4th Battalion is to land a company in each of the 3 landing zones on the western perimeter and advance eastwards across the area of operations. The 3rd 7th will be held in reserve and ordered to An Quang as required. So one thing to keep in mind is that we will lose event points. So event points are things that you collect by completing objectives, but you can the enemy will get event points for completing their own objectives, but we don't know what they are, logically so. In this case, they will gain extra event points if we decide to attack with airstrikes or with artillery against the villages that we don't know is occupied. There will be supply, so the supply levels will remain high, but as the engagement starts to happen, we'll notice that the ammo levels will start to reduce. That's logical. But we will have a resupply opportunity to do that later. So this is a fairly long scenario, but it's a fairly quick scenario. And my plan is to, if I'm allowed to stream here again in the future, I will continue playing this. So I'm going to play here for a couple hours, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, turn 1. Let's take a look at the overall situation. So here's the map. Let's turn on some labels so you can see where we are. These maps are as historical as I can make them. They are based on topographic maps that were done by the U.S. Army at the time. Oh, hang on one second. Hey, Natkinway, question. Apparently, where are you watching this? Are you watching this on Slitherine TV? Or are you watching this on my channel? Oh, it's not supposed to be on my channel. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Hang on. Good day. I don't know if this is working, and I can't see my chat. I don't know where the chat is. Sorry, hang on.
That's crazy. Wait until the next character is in a...
Guys, it's here! You gotta get inside! Everyone to the movie theater!
Oh, hey, Edmund. Sorry. Apparently it accidentally went back to my channel. That's unfortunate. Hey, thanks, Knackenway. Good to see you. Apologies for that. So now I am actually on the Twitch channel for Slitherine. Sorry about that. I got screwed up. Happy thoughts. Do let me know if everything is good to go. Alright, so I guess we missed this whole thing. Anyways, what was I describing? So I had done 10 minutes on my own channel by accident. I put in the right stream key, but then it asked me to log in, and I logged in back into my account, not realizing that what would happen. So anyways, we will start from the beginning. Sorry about that, everyone. Happy thoughts. We are playing Campaign Series Vietnam. Campaign Series Vietnam is our latest game. We do have a update for this that is going to be available very soon. It is the 1.31 update. And also meaning that there's also an update for the 2.31 for Middle East. That should be available sometime in August. We will have new betas available, probably coming next week, maybe even later on this week. There are a couple of bugs that need to be fixed and addressed, as well as some graphic issues. So anyways, I decided that we were going to play the Campaign Series Vietnam Operation Starlite. It's a long scenario, but hopefully I can do this over the course of a few sessions in the future. I don't know how often they'll be, but just as this is how we play this game. The nice thing about this scenario is that it has a little bit of everything. Even though it's a long scenario, it's a fairly small scenario, so it's a good introduction scenario to a variety of different things that you should be aware of for the Campaign Series Vietnam. On the bright side, I hadn't started moving anything yet. I had just preambled for 10 minutes, so that's good. We are playing as the Americans in this particular scenario. In most cases, the majority of the scenarios in Campaign Series Vietnam have the side B, which is the VC or NVA or Viet Minh scripted. That means you'll want to play as side A. So you'll play as the Americans, you'll play as the ARVN, you'll play as the South Koreans, or you'll play as the French. Typically is how you're going to play, or even the Australians. There are scenarios that have Australians, as well as a New Zealand battery. So there's a wide variety of scenarios to play. But we're going to play this one here. And basically what we're doing in this particular scenario is that we're going to hunt down a VC regiment. Now we have all the options on. We have all the options on for this particular scenario, meaning that there's Fog of War. Let's show you what the options are. I remember where they are. Optional rules. So enhanced Fog of Wars means I'm not going to be able to see much of anything, even when the action happens. So that's a kind of nice thing about this particular game. We don't know what the enemy's doing, nor should I know until I actually see what they're doing. Enhanced spotting means that they will stay hidden more often than not. The EA puts this game on another level. Yeah, thanks for that, Krupp Drug. I appreciate that for sure. Enhanced reporting. There are additional elements here for the reporting that we have that helps. It's not super detailed, but it does provide you some additional information. And you'll see that as we go on. Enhanced assault. You really have to pay attention to how you assault. There are certain techniques. I have videos on my own channel that explain in detail how those go through, but I'll try and go through that as we get into the action here as well. Enhanced close air support. There are two different types of air support options within the game. There is the legacy version where you just call in an airstrike on a hex, and then the AI will decide what airplane is coming in and deal with it. The enhanced close air support allows you to pick your own airstrike depending on its package. So it might be armed with guns or rockets or bombs or napalm or whatever. So you can pick kind of the airstrike that suits your particular mission. Keep in mind though, once you plot an airstrike, it's there and won't go anywhere until it's actually either being called off or the airstrike comes. Adaptive AI is a large 120 plus attributes for each nation to help, you know, provide them a little bit of flavor, I guess. So each nation will do things better or worse than others, depending on what's going on. Exciting times, I think. Indirect fire by the map, that's pretty self-explanatory, as is vehicular facing effects, basically. Once the tanks are on the ground, I'll show you how the armor facing works. Command and control is how supply is dealt with. I always recommend playing with that. Variable visibility is what that is. I usually don't play with it on, but it's there as an option. What it does is every turn, it'll basically add or subtract or nothing a visibility range. So right now visibility is 3 because it's first thing in the morning. That'll change as the day goes on. Historical landing zones, you'll see here, for example, there's a landing zone. That means I'm only allowed to land there. If this was turned off, I could land pretty much anywhere I want, but most operations are designed to land in specific places. It's just how it was. But here we have quite a few different landing zones. Basically what the plan is, we're going to hunt down the VC regiment that's going to be in this area. We need to secure a variety of villages and making sure that this area is clear of VC. Now we do have quite a few different units to acquire, or to do that. We have a naval unit that is going to be landing, or Marines that are going to be landing on the beach here, and we're going to be cleaning up this village. Eventually, we'll be moving inland. This will be a challenge and a half to do that. We also have some Marines and helicopters that are going to land over in these landing zones. So, let's get started. I'm going to grab my helicopters. If I right-click on the menu, we can see that there are some Marine platoons included. I'm going to bring my helicopters down to this sector down here. Move them as far as we can. I think that's pretty much all I can move right now. I do have additional helicopters. Let's get them loaded. Hi there, is this available in Operation Art of War? No, it's not. This is a different game altogether. This is Campaign Series Vietnam. Just checking to see what we have. How many helicopters are there? There's 2. Gonna load them up. So basically all I'm doing is selecting the unit that I need, want to load, and then we're going to take off. Let's get these up in the sky using the ascend button. I'm going to put them into, there's 4 different elevation levels for helicopters. There is on the ground. For example, this here is on the ground, as identified by the G. Here, these ones are in low. There's also nap of the earth and high. The difference being is that in high, it costs you 1 action point to move a hex. In low, it costs you 2 action points. In nap of the earth, you're flying low to the ground, so it costs you 3. And ground, that's where you unload and load units. I'll show you how to do a combat assault in the next coming turns. I'm going to move everyone 1 hex up into the low, and then we're going to go into the high to gain as much movement as we can. And we're just going to move as far as we can for this turn. Now, I also have some hogs, some gunships. That's Going to be beautiful for our sanity, let me tell you. So gunships, if we take a look at their stats, we can find that in the unit handbook or press F2 after selecting the unit. We can see that they have a very strong soft attack. That's what this blue line means. It's a soft attack value at 2 hexes. So because these are rockets, if this was a snake, for example, the stats for that would be completely different because it would be armed with grenade launchers as well as miniguns. So its attack value would be much stronger in number 1 hex as opposed to 2 hexes. But because these are rockets, we're standing off distance and firing. We need to be 2 hexes away. When firing with helicopters, you want to be in nap of the earth. That's your most attack value. That's where it's going to be your best bang for the buck. If you're in low, this will drop down to the 40s, just because you're a little bit higher, a little bit further away. Your accuracy isn't going to be as good. So things to keep in mind. But we'll go through that again as we get closer to some actual combat. So I have a bunch of helicopters here. They are loaded. That'll be our first wave. I haven't decided which landing zone that we're going to go land in yet. Well, maybe we'll leave that up to you. Let's see about these units here. Let's get them on the shore. So this is a Marine, probably a Marine battalion that is coming ashore. We also have some larger boats that has our landing craft. That's good. We have some Ontos, we have some Pattons, and some flamethrower Pattons. Perfect. We have a transport. We have some destroyer support, which is perfect. Now, I'm not going to soften things up quite yet. I want to see what kind of action we're going to run into. I don't think I can unload. Let's try. No, I need more action points to unload. Alright, so we're here at Green Beach. That's the first turn. Pretty straightforward. Let's end it. I'm going to save this just... There we go. Let's end the turn. Oh wait, let's end the turn and see what happens. So just a little bit of movement in the background, and now it's our turn again. Alright, so for those tuning in, where do you think I should land? Do you have any suggestions? My helicopters are going to come land over here, either in red, white, or blue. Where should we start? I'll leave that decision up to you guys. And while you guys decide, I'll bring my helicopters closer. Make sure that I'm in the high level so I get the maximum movement, and then we're gonna cruise over this way. Sorry about that. Yeah, you see the difference? Here's a good example right here. So I neglected to move these helicopters into the high flight zone, and notice the difference in action points that I was able to move based being in high flight zone as opposed to the low flight zone. Silly me, but that's okay, it happens. So I'm going to move the rest of these helicopters a little bit closer. I'm going to drop down to low so I can prepare wherever we're going to land. They're in low already. They're in low already. I have some gunships. We're going to drop them down to low. So next turn we'll decide which landing zone we're going to go into. So far, we haven't seen any bad guys, so that's good for us. I don't see a response for where we're going to land, so I'm going to assume we're going to land into white. That being said, I'm going to start softening that up. It is just open patties. We do have a battery over here. Let's call in some support. I'm going to bombard those hexes just to make sure that we're not going to land in a hot landing zone. So that's good. We're pretty much ready there. We'll land next turn after the artillery strike hits. I'll bring my gunships closer to be on station. They do have action points for direct fire if we need, so that's kind of good. Alright, so we did find some civilians. We obviously don't want to kill civilians. That's not a good thing. Oh, I ran into a minefield. So, what did we lose? We lost something. We lost one of our LVTPs. Unfortunately, we got disrupted and we took some losses. That kind of sucks. And we found a sniper. So notice that I can't see it shooting because it has hidden fire capabilities, and that's just how the LOS works here. I will fire at that hex, even though I can't see it, to hopefully suppress it. He's disrupted, so I can't do anything. Even though there's a civilian here, we can walk through, fortunately. And I can't get into that hex there. Let's just disperse our troops. There's more civilians here. Let's unload in the water. Let's pull some of these boats. I don't need all of these, so let's not worry about them here. I should be able to unload. Yeah. Alright, so we have some tanks on the beach. Perfect. We'll get our Ontos up there as well. And our flame tanks. Now, I'm sure things are going to hit the fan. Happy thoughts. But that's pretty much all we can do. Now, we do have destroyer support. I know there was a sniper there, so let's call in our destroyers. And hopefully we can get lucky and wipe that thing out. I'm sure there are other VC in this area. I just don't know where they are. So what's our plan? We're going to get on the beach. We're going to deal with a sniper. And I think what we're going to do is start advancing towards this village complex over here. Nam Yen. That's going to be a priority. We're going to have to go see how we can deal with that. So let's save it. And I think we're pretty much done. We're going to do our assault next turn. Our combat assault with our helicopters. And get some boots on the ground. Hey, thanks for tuning in there, Mike Jer. Really appreciate it. And yeah, yay for that. I'm excited that we're actually streaming live. That's fantastic. Let's see what happens. Well, we found a sniper. So there's more eyes on that, and he's closer, so it is far more capable to see what was shooting at us. And we determined it was a sniper. This game is not available on Steam on Schweinhund, unfortunately. None of the campaign series are available on Steam, unfortunately. We have 1 unit that has recovered morale out of 2. We have 3 headquarters unable to provide supply, which makes sense considering we're moving everything. We have 1 artillery unit unavailable. Of the batteries that we called, one of them is out of ammo for this turn. And then we have 2 units that are low on ammo. So here's my preparatory artillery landing. I don't think there's anything there, but safety first. This is where that other sniper was, hopefully. So we're going to try and take that out. This will be a challenge because the terrain is pretty tough. It's wet paddies with bocage that we have to get through, and my vehicles can only basically travel along this path. Alright, so first things first. Oh no, our Marines are okay. Let's get a little bit closer and see if we can reveal that sniper. No, but we did see a roadblock. So we need some engineers is what we need. I'm going to move these here for support. Let's get these engineers or infantry platoons moving. I'm going to fire at the sniper. No joy. Let's fire at it with the tank. So, oh, we got lucky. Alright, we can now occupy that. Perfect. And then we'll start meandering towards and Kyong 2. Let's move our tanks up here to provide some support. There's a minefield here, so I don't really want to go in there if I don't have to. Let's unload, get our Ontos on the ground. Get these out of the way if I can. Oh, nope, not enough action points. Let's unload. Oh, we do have engineers. There we go. Nice. And we have engineers there too. Can I unload there? Maybe? No. Need more action points. Alright, just like that, like magic. Now let's do our combat assault into these landing zones. What do we have? Some machine guns and some infantry. Let's drop down. The key with a landing is to unload and get your helicopters off the ground as soon as possible. You don't want to be losing your helicopters. They are your bread and butter, basically. So, never be in a position where they are on the ground to get assaulted or hit by artillery or anything like that. Safety first. I'm going to bring my gunships a little closer. Let's drop down. And again, get the helicopters off the ground. There we go. So, I have a question. Do you think I should send this company up north, or what do you think I should do with this? Or just concentrate our forces? Concentrating our forces might be a better idea. I don't know. It's tough to say. We have a lot of troops here. We have some gunships on station. So they're flying in the low altitude right now. All these are on the ground, obviously. What do I do with these? What do I do with these? Let's drop down here. Get these off the ground. We'll take this point. You want to encircle or destroy? I need to do both. That's the thing, right? So I'm going to get points for occupying all these different village complexes. And in order for me to gain the points that I need to occupy, for example, here we have Van Thuong. So in order for me to gain the points for Van Thuong, I need to occupy all 4 of the hamlets. Or all 5 of them. There's 5 of them here. And it'll be the same for Nam Yen. Nam Yen is a very important objective for us here. So we want to make sure that we grab these as well. So actually, let's... oh, here's our headquarters. Let's get our headquarters on the ground. Get the helicopters off. And I don't know... Let's send them here. Okay. So we'll start by capturing Fulong 1, then we'll go, or 3, then we'll go up to 2. There is no at Fulong 3. These guys, they're fixed. I do see civilians, so we do have to be careful that our opportunity fire is not going to take out civilians. We definitely don't want that to happen. That being the case, I am going to change my opportunity fire. So you can do that by selecting the unit and pressing Control P. Or not. Shift P. Alt P. Or not. What the hell? Alright. Do that another time. Let's save it, end it, see what happens. So we did find a recordless rifle that's firing at us from here. Notice that our ammo levels are now reducing because we have been firing. Oh, that sniper is still there. Oh, we got reduced by a full squad. Ouch, that sucked. Okay. First things first, let's capture this. And let's send this platoon up. We're going to start sending all these helicopters back. They don't need to be in our area anymore. We're going to send them back to Chulai. Same with these ones. High flight zone. And then we'll land them there to get resupplied. Notice how this number here is changing. So it starts off with 9. This is something you can change in the... You can change if you want to. But typically, it's designed to be 9 turns is before you have to go back and get refueled. It's not on Steam yet. No, sorry about that. I was trying to get a look at the map. I don't know enough about the scenario to suggest anything. I don't have any Vietnam War sims. Cold War, World War II is what I do the most. Yeah. We are working on a Cold War game, actually. It'll be much the same as this. Just Cold War. I've been working on developing the Soviets, the Czechs, and the Polish order of battles. Here, the map, it is going to be a challenge because we don't know the strength of the enemy. We know that there's roughly a regiment in here. How it's dispersed, I don't know. We are running into issues, though, already. Let's see, unload these guys. And I'm going to move the engineers into here to help clean this up. These guys are terrible. Let's see, can I assault this? So we did reduce it, a double unknown effect, so that's Fog of War. I don't know the damage or anything like that that's happening or its situation, but I know a double unknown effect usually means that it was reduced by a value. As it's a sniper, it was reduced by 1. And it likely was disrupted. So we're on the right path to killing that, although we did take quite a few losses already. Just in a landing by a sniper. That's terrible. Alright, so we did see that there was a recoilless rifle fire from here. That's what that sound was. So we will try and avoid that. Which means that we don't want to take our tank down this path. So unfortunately, we're going to be stuck going along this path here in order to start attacking this village. Oh, that's such a pain. There's more civilians that are meandering around. All these units we need to get off. We do have a flame tank, which will... It doesn't fire flames, obviously, because of the scale. Each of these hexes is 250 meters. But it has a huge assault value, and that's where it comes in handy, is by utilizing this vehicle and incorporating it into assaults. Now, if I remember correctly, we do have an Onto somewhere. Here it is. Let's bring this over here. And what we're going to do is next turn, fire at that thing and hopefully clear this path. And maybe we'll send a couple of platoons down towards San Thuy and up in here just to see what's up there. Obviously, we have a lot of troops and we need to focus. We have some more engineers. That's overstacked now. Let's get these vehicles out. So that's all well protected. We're good there. And let's start heading up this hill towards Nam Yen. And just like that, we ran into some bad guys. So that is going to be a good opportunity to bring in some helicopter support. I'm going to advance and then drop down to Nap of the Earth so I get the most effect as I can. And I'm going to fire at that and see what happens. Can you send in Cessnas? You can send in Cessnas and Broncos later on, yes. Some scenarios have them, not all of them do. So also later on you'll also have Loaches. So you can fly in with a Loach and, you know, do some reconnaissance, see what's there, get fired at, and hopefully survive before you bring in your gunships. At this point, they haven't learned that lesson yet, so we don't have any reconnaissance helicopters providing us some support. It is 1965. This is Operation Starlite. It's one of the first battles, so we don't have the fancy toys quite yet. What are we doing? Advancing. I guess one thing I should do is make sure that we are keeping our troops organized. You know what? I'm going to send my headquarters back here. Hopefully they don't get shot at. That would suck, but that's my luck. These guys are good. Those guys are good. Let's go check out our helicopters. They're all good. I do have some more reinforcements. And I do have some mortars, as well as some flamethrowers. So next turn we're going to land all of our helicopters, and we're going to get some get these things refueled and bring up these reinforcements to provide some support for our continued assaults. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. I think we're okay for now. Do we have airstrikes? We don't have any air power available right now. Are we going to get some? Oh yeah, so we are going to get quite a few. We do have some airstrikes coming. They're just not available quite yet. You can tell what these are. Obviously these are A4s, and these ones here are armed with guns. These ones here are armed with rockets. These ones here are armed with bombs. So we'll be able to call in different airstrikes depending on the needs. Obviously the bombs are going to be the most powerful, especially against entrenched positions like that. I can't tell that's an entrenched position, but I don't think that guy's going to be sitting there without entrenchments. I'm going to assume it is entrenched, but we do have artillery. Let's call that artillery. We want to make this an easy thing. We also have some destroyer support. Oh, speaking of destroyers, I know that there was a recoilless rifle there, so let's start softening that up, and we are trying to get rid of that, definitely. In the north, we don't have anything quite yet, so we're okay. I will bring... Actually, you know what? I shouldn't. Let's not send our headquarters into enemy territory. That seems foolish. And let's fly this helicopter back. Alright. Let's take a look. So our overall plan, just so you know what I'm doing, is we are going to send the majority of this battalion towards this side of Nam Yen, and then we're going to start taking out Nam Yen 2 as well as Nam Yen 3 as well as Lok Song with these troops. I don't know if I have enough troops to do that, but we're going to try and sneak into this area. I'm going to assume this is going to be fairly heavily defended. I don't know about this hill. I don't know how much I have to send, but we do have helicopter support. That is useful. I think that's all I can do for this turn. We want to get our headquarters on the ground. All our destroyers are firing. There will be reinforcements that come at these transports, so I will definitely start sending some of these things out there to go. What's in here? More headquarters. So we need to get these headquarters on the ground to maintain supply and make sure that we are firing at the strongest that we can. We're getting close to getting into this village, so that's good. Hopefully we don't get shot at. Let's see what happens. Back in the day, I was a good board game before video games got good. The very best one I ever played was Vietnam 1965 to 75 by Victoria Games, or Victory Games, sorry. Somebody should definitely build a video game version of it. It would translate brilliantly. Yeah, that was a great game. Look at that. We found some mortars. We are threatened right now. That's not good. We got lucky, though. Oh, there's a machine gun from somewhere. From here. Ah, shoot. So much for our assault. Alright, we have 1 unit out of 2 that have recovered morale. And we have 4 headquarters, unable to provide supply. But that'll change here pretty quick because we're going to get our units set up. And then we have 3 units low on ammo. No joy. Most innovative system I've ever come across. Yeah, for a board game, it was a lot of fun. There we go, that was a good hit. Double unknown effect, which means it probably is disrupted and took a loss. No joy. Come on. Positive vibes for a good hit. Nah, it's in a bunker, right? Let's try to assault with our reduced marine. See if we can get in there. Actually, no. Let's fire first with our Ontos. No joy. Now let's assault. Alright, we overran our bunker. Now we can start advancing. That's a good thing. Start moving these back out to sea. I don't need all the support, although the machine gun support would be handy. I need to be concerned about the reinforcements that will come. There are landing zones here, so I can use helicopters to do that. Let's see. Our headquarters, we're going to land here. This here, so one thing that you need to be thinking about is that you can use headquarters in the field to help resupply your helicopters. And I'll show you what I need, or what I mean, when we get to that point. These guys took a beating, which is good. Let's see. I need to, keep our troops together. So I highlighted the company that should be working together. I need to move them and operate them in the same specter, I guess, or spectrum. That way it helps with the supply, so I'm just going to move this company down towards this tree line, and this company we're going to start advancing up there. I'm going to move these closer, unfortunately, because I need to draw fire before I send my helicopters in. So let's do that. So, typically most items, unless they're A-class units, can fire twice. Oh, look at that. So this has been reduced by 1 already. It has retreated out of its trenches, which is good for us. That means hopefully we can occupy them next turn. But, most importantly, these are out in the open now. So I'm going to bring my gunships closer. Again, it's a 2-hex standoff for rockets. And we are going to fire at these 4 VC. So you'll notice that I had both of them selected, but only the top one fired. That means this one took casualties. So let's kind of see what... So it was reduced by 1. So let's fire with the other gunship. Did we do any more damage? We reduced it by another squad. So we've almost eliminated this completely, which is good for us. And we haven't suffered any casualties here yet. That's a bonus. Here, I'm going to leave those there. I'm going to leave that machine gun there for now. And, oh no, you know what? I don't think so. Let's double time this. And let's double time this. I'm going to send this infantry platoon up to here with the machine gun. I suspect there's going to be stuff around. I just don't know where we're going to run into them. That's the that's the thing. We just don't know. All right, let's try our luck. Oh, we got in there fairly straightforward. That's good. Let's double time these. Go down this trail. We know that it's clear. Let's move. I'm going to bring these with us. Let's unload those. We're going to bring these tanks with us too, because we're going to need them for assaulting in this particular area. Alright, now we do have our headquarters. Let's get them set up. Alright. I think that's all we need to do there. Now, those are civilians. We definitely don't want to be targeting those, but we do remember that there was a machine gun here, and there was a recoilless rifle there, so we are going to hit both those locations with our destroyers. Just for safety. Now, here, I don't know. I'm going to assume there's going to be defenses here, but I don't know where they are, so I'm not going to target anything. Maybe I'm going to target this hill, because maybe there's something there. We haven't been shot at yet, but who knows. Here we're okay so far. Let's go deal with our helicopters. So as I was mentioning, it's a long scenario, but it's a fairly short one because there's not much going on. I mean, there's lots going on, but there's lots that we have to do. So here, most importantly, you'll notice that it says 4 left. So you'll get a warning when there's 3 turns left for the helicopters before they need to refuel. You can recover a helicopter if it goes down. So if a helicopter runs out of fuel, it'll force land wherever it is, kind of a thing. So if you forget about a helicopter and it gets down to 1, it'll land in a hex. Now, you can recover that helicopter by getting a headquarters or a supply unit to it. Now, there are supply units, as you can see here. There's a supply truck, or there's a headquarter. Any headquarters will do it, and any supply unit will do it. But they have to be in the same hex in order to recover that helicopter. But here, I'm going to land. We're on the ground now. Notice that it reduced it again by another point. And then what we can do, we can load these up to get ready for our refueling process for next turn. Here, I think we should be able to load those. This helicopter is fully loaded, and it's fully fueled. Let's land. Now again, they're down to 3. All these, there's a supply truck there, so we're going to land here. And let's drop down with these helicopters here. What do we have? We need 3 units. That'll do it. Drop down. I don't think I'll have enough to load. Oh, we do. Let's do that. Get them ready for our next mission. And these ones here, we're going to do the same thing. We'll just land anywhere there's a headquarters. We can land and they will refuel. So next turn, it'll say 9. But they'll only have 50 action points. That's the refueling time it takes, basically. So each turn, just as an FYI, each turn represents between roughly 20 and 45 minutes, depending on the scenario. Daytimes, is usually 20 to 30 minutes, and nighttime is usually about 45 minutes per turn. Just as an FYI. Let's see. I think we're okay here. Also, I do stream on my own channel. It's Campaign Series Legion twice a week. Once in the evening on Wednesdays, so today, and another time on Sunday mornings. And usually I do Middle East on Wednesdays, and I do Vietnam on Sundays. I think that's all we can do. So let's save it, end it, see what happens. We are getting hit with artillery or mortar fire. Fingers crossed. Okay, we survived. Oh no! This is the worst. No effect. That's good. Oh, no effect. Well, at least we retreated into a bunker. Okay, we're being shot at by something. So this is occupied. There's machine guns in here, at least. There's another sniper. Back here. And up here. Alright, we have one unit that has recovered morale. We have 5 headquarters unable to provide supply. We have 3 units low on ammo. And we did clear a block or a mine. That's perfect. So there was a machine gun here. That's where that recoilless rifle was. We completely missed that. Okay, so let us... I'm going to secure this village here. This will give us line of sight to those locations. Look at that, there's freaking civilians everywhere. We're going to occupy these... Oh, I hit IEDs. No effect, though. Look at that, there's IEDs in there. A level 1 IED. Double time these guys. We're bringing our patents up. These are the flame tanks, obviously, the Zippos, and these are just regular patents. Not a lot of troops. Now, we should be able to send some troops over this way now. We have some engineers. Alright, so I'm going to leave those headquarters there. We're going to leave these headquarters here. And we are going to advance. We're going to go hit that other sniper. That's what we're going to go do. So what we're doing is we're going to take this Ontos, we're going to cruise up this little side road here, or path, start focusing on taking these things out. We noticed that there was a sniper in here, and I think there was a sniper in here, so we have to worry about that. This here is just below, so they can't see us. This is a good place for us, actually. I don't have line of sight to that now, I don't think. I don't think. to check. No, I'm just 1 hex away from that, so I can't see that. So I'm not going to bombard that. And I don't think I can see anything over there either, so... Oh, now I can see. Okay, so we're going to hit that with our destroyers. We know that there's a sniper there. Let's see if we can soften it up. And I think there's one over there, but we can't see that. And this destroyer, we're going to hit this town again. I don't have airstrikes yet, so I can't call in an airstrike. Here we can start advancing. So the hilltop here is secure. Or not secure, it is secured by the VC, I mean. Ah, shoot. Now we lost line of sight of them. That is annoying. Okay, I am going to fire at that guy up on the hill one more time. Maybe we can draw some more fire. No joy. Let's bring our helicopters up. Oh, shoot! Oh, no! Ah, fire truck. Fire truck, fire truck, fire truck. So, we just lost 2 gunships. That sucks. So, is this a unit level game running on how long per turn? 45 minutes. So, battle scenarios, no campaign game for the whole... No, there's no campaign game for the whole year. It is relegated to specific battles. Although, there is a campaign, or there are 2 campaigns. They are long scenarios where... They're called a week-in, is how they're called. What that means is that basically you're in charge of a brigade-type unit, or multiple brigade-type unit, and you are given daily missions where you have to go and complete these missions. So, for example, there's one called A Week in Bin Long. You start off with a couple of battalions. You're operating in the Anlock area. You're going out and you're hunting basically for... What are you hunting for? VC caches, VC, troops, to go take them out to make sure that, as the days progress, you're not going to have a massive battle that is expected to happen. You're basically trying to take these battalions and going out and clear the jungle to make sure that they don't have the opportunity, the VC doesn't have the opportunity to do their offensive that they plan on doing at the end of that week. During the course of that campaign, so basically what you're doing is that you're sending your battalion out to clear a certain area every day. So you'll clear a large area, build a fire base for that night. You'll have helicopter support, you'll have artillery support, and how you do that is totally up to you. But you have certain missions that need to be done during every day. Bin Long is the larger one. So you'll be getting a battalion, probably, an extra supporting battalion or 2 every day. Which means by the end of it, you're playing with a division-sized unit. It's a massive map. It's a beautiful scenario. I love it. But it takes you... It's a 420 turn scenario because you're playing for a week. Lots to do, lots to think about. There's supply runs that you have to worry about. There's moving that you have to worry about. There's building fire bases that you have to worry about. There's so many fascinating things that you're doing during these type of campaigns. But typically, most of the scenarios are like this, where it's a set-piece battle and you're doing your best to beat the VC, for example. There's also French scenarios. There's also Civil War scenarios. And with this latest update that we're releasing, we've now released the order of battles all the way up to 1985. And I have included 6 TET scenarios. So I'll be starting to build more post-1967 scenarios, as I have time to do that, because I'm doing a million things. And they will be included with the updates as we release them. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of exciting. Yes, the NBA definitely gets involved, 100%. Also, the Viet Minh, when the French were there, they are also involved. Totally. Yep. There are a number of different scenarios. I don't remember the scenario count, but I think there's about 100 at least for Vietnam itself. And I just add more scenarios as I complete them. So much content. Dien Bien Phu is also there. Yeah, I think there's a set of 8 or 9 scenarios that deal with Dien Bien Phu that you can play, for sure. Let me show you the... Here, let's just save this for a second. I'll show you since you're asking, I'll show you the scenario list, just so you can see. So there's boot camp scenarios. I highly recommend, if you're going to start playing this game, that you play the boot camp scenarios. It is essential that you play the boot camp scenarios. Then after that, you have a whole bunch of series of French scenarios. These, from the various French campaigns. Battle of Nassan is probably a nice little favorite of mine. I really enjoy that. And you can play by email if you want. Street Without Joy, that's a fun scenario if you just want to go out and go hunting. Hey, Compass Rose, good to see you. Free time is overrated. Yeah, touche, sir. Touche. There are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9, 10 Dien Bien Phu scenarios that you can to play. Someone is building a First Korean War scenario, which is kind of exciting. I've been playtesting that. That'll come out soon. And then after the Dien Bien Phu, we go into the Civil War scenario, which is basically the ARVN versus the Viet Cong. So all these up here, there are all Viet Minh, obviously. And then as we progress past that stage, we go into starting with 1955 is when things start getting heavy. And then eventually you'll start seeing American scenarios starting there. Actually, yeah. And we're playing the first American scenario where that happens. Hey, John, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well today. Whole bunch of different types of scenarios. We also include, as you see here, there's also the Australians that are included. And if you are Australian, there's even, where is it? The Battle of Long Tan. You can play the Battle of Long Tan if you want. It is a fun, terrible scenario. It's hard. It's a hard scenario to play. But anyways, yeah. So as we go on, there are also, look at this. There's a massive scenario count. You're going to need 500 plus hours to play all the content that's included in the game. The Marines landing there, yeah, but there was no action. There was no operation. It was just getting on the beach. So there's nothing really to play there. Do you know what I mean? And that's why. So the main operation, the first operation of combat, is the one that we're playing now. So let's go back, resume the save game. Let's go to Operation Starlite. So yeah, there's so much content in this game to play. Absolutely. I think I'm convinced that if you have any questions, Code Chopper, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Absolutely. I mean, I'm heavily biased, but I love this game. I really do. Alright, so let's just double check our helicopters, make sure that everything is legit. And they're all good. So, as you can see from last turn, all of our helicopters now are at level 9, and as I mentioned before, they're at 55 or 50 action points. That's the standard way. So I could take off now if I wanted to, and start getting those troops heading south. So again, going to move up to the low flight zone, and then one more to the high flight zone, so I get the maximum movement. You don't want to do that in all cases, but in most cases, it's a good idea. Here, I don't have enough action points to do anything. I can get off the ground, but now I don't have any. I'm stuck at Nap of the Earth, so this guy, he's screwed. That's too bad. This guy here, we can get up, Nap of the Earth, or into a high flight zone. And these two here, same, low, high flight zone. There we go. So they'll all fly down towards the landing zone. Next turn. I have CS Middle East, but open it up maybe once. I'll also give that another go now too. So, with Middle East, fair warning, we are updating that as well. We're doing consistent updates with both Middle East and Vietnam at the same time. So the next updates will be, the official updates will be released in August. It'll be the 1.31 for Vietnam and 2.31 for Middle East. Middle East scenarios are not scripted right now. With the 2.3 and 1.3, we introduced scripting. Or I guess for 2.3, we introduced scripting for Middle East. None of those are, there's only, I think there's 4 CERT scenarios, which are like hypothetical scenarios that deal with the UK and Libya, if I remember correctly. Those are scripted scenarios, but all the other ones aren't. You can still have an okay time with the Middle East, but I would highly recommend waiting until they're scripted. It takes time to script. Obviously, I'm scripting the AI. It is tedious, but absolutely worth doing. Vietnam is going to be the best experience to play, by far. We are updating the old game to make sure that it is, you know, interesting and fun, but it will take some time. So I appreciate your patience. Just hang in there. We'll get there. Get there soon. I'm kind of concerned I'm going to start getting shot at here, but I don't see anything, so I don't want to call in artillery quite yet. Now, we did see we'd lost a helicopter. This really sucks, actually. That sucks a lot. I'm going to bring this helicopter down over here, and I'm going to land it, and we're going to get refueled, because there is a helicopter or headquarters here. For future expansions, just for you guys to know, I am working on I'm rebuilding Iraq for Middle East, and I've created the Iranians. So you can expect to see the Iran-Iraq war in the future for Middle East. It'll just be like an update, so you don't have to worry about DLC or anything like that. And I'm also developing the North Koreans, for Vietnam, so that'll be an option in the future. Again, it'll just be a country thrown on, so you can add whatever you want to it, build scenarios or whatever. We're also working on Cold War, a brand new game that the first release will include France, the United States, West Germany, and the UK as the NATO partners. And the Warsaw Pact will include the Czechs, the Poles, East Germans, and Soviets. So that'll be the starting point. That'll be the core game, and then we'll just do what we're doing now and just adding on countries eventually as we build them. There's no timeline for that. It's a lot of work. Not sure when it's going to release. Sooner the better, of course. We're also doing the World War II game. I think what we're going to be doing is, instead of having the 3 games that we used to have, it'll just be 1 game, and we'll do what we're doing with Cold War, start off with a few countries, and then just add on to them to make things easier. There's no title for that yet, but instead of having East Front, West Front, and Rising Sun, it'll just be the World War II game kind of a thing. That's the plan. It does take a long time to build, unfortunately. I can still take some time to get used to the UI. I live in the Grisby world for a long time. And you know what? That's the main reason why why this game isn't on Steam is because Slitherine doesn't think that it's good enough. The UI is good enough for Steam. It's an old looking game. It is totally. I get that, but I like it. Cold War will have a new 3D look to it because we lost our... Well, we've lost a few things. We lost our main programmer he died last year, or earlier this year. And our graphics guy also no longer with us. So we do have a new graphics guy who is going to be rebuilding how this looks, just as a fair warning. But don't expect... it's going to change, but it's not going to be totally different. Fair warning. But yeah, still going strong. I'll be doing this basically until my grave. I love the game, so it's simple as that. But it does take a while to do. Building data takes a long time, and that's mostly what I've been focused on lately. I've been scripting as well as building countries. So, patience. I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. Alright, I think that's all we can do. I should probably call in some artillery, which I did over there. I don't think I have... Oh yeah, we're going to call in artillery there. Let's do that. I'm just taking all these batteries. There we go. That's going to get hit hard. I'm really annoyed that we ran into some bad guys and lost our helicopters there. There's a regular viewer on my other channel. His name is Stipe. He always makes fun of me for losing helicopters, so I'm disappointed that I lost my gunships straight off the bat already. So annoying. So annoying. Yeah, this is one of my favorite tactical war games. It's what I play the most, really. Alright, so here's where things are going to get hot and heavy. I do have some smoke, so that's good. We'll need that for the assault. Oh, we ran into a sniper or something. So just the way that the scripting works, just as an FYI, it's scripted in Lua. And the way that I've scripted it for the scenarios that I developed is that basically each company will have its own mission and its own die roll. So what that means is that at the beginning of the scenario, there will be a die roll for each company. That it'll be 1, 2, or 3. And depending on what is happening for that particular scenario. Now this one isn't complicated. It's defending, but how it's defending will vary typically. Each company will do one of 3 things, and maybe multiple things based on that, you know, the role that it does and the path that it's going to be doing. Like it might defend in one location, then move to another, or whatever, right? Just depending on what's going on. But it's like that for all the scenarios, all my scenarios. Hopefully we kill that sniper. And then with that, with the scripting, basically every scenario, the VC is scripted like I would play. So in a way, you're kind of playing against me as you're playing the AI. Now, obviously it's not perfect by design, so it might do some weird things because, you know, you don't get the right, you know, the commands at the same time or at the right time, or things get confused. It's combat. I mean, shit happens. Pardon my French. So this is occupied already, so we want to avoid that. So let's hit the flank. We don't want to be stuck out in this terrain here because this is terrible for us. This morale is reducing our morale by 1. I mean, we have decent morale. It's a 7, which is okay. But we can't hide because -1 for concealment. There's no way that we're going to get be able to hide from the shots. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and flank this position. We're gonna flank the hill, and we're gonna hit the hill from the side, and hopefully we can get onto the hill without suffering too many casualties. Our gunship is now refueled. That's good. Now there's infantry platoon there. I'm gonna wait a turn, but I am gonna start firing up here. Ah, there he is. So we drew some fire. That revealed this guy's position, which is good. We can fire at him now. Did we do any damage? Can't tell. I actually like the old clunky old games. Playing John Tiller's Pants Campaign Normandy 44 as I'm watching this. Started up again, D-Day, one of my favorites. Oh, that's awesome. I don't mind the UI at all. It'll just take some getting used to. Yeah, it is, you know, I like it, but again, I'm biased because I've been doing this since the 90s. So, I mean, I like the improvements that we've done. It's taken a lot of time to do it, but I think they've turned out really nice. There's a river here, so I want to see what kind it is. We do have map hints, which is under the map menu, and we can identify how useful this is. Now we can see here, MR means it's a minor river. I can't cross that unless there's a bridge, but there's a shallow river here, which means I can cross that. So what we're going to do is cross this, and eventually work our way over to these paths over here. Oh no. Wait, is that a shallow river? Light bridge, shallow river. So this is probably a shallow river. We should still be able to cross there, I hope. Otherwise, I just screwed myself. Because that's a light bridge, and I don't think it can take us. Which means I better not move these other tanks down here, unless I know for sure that's what's going on. We're gonna go up and secure this ridge line. Let's turn off the map hints. Alright. Let's continue our advance. So we didn't actually trigger any fire from that guy, which is kind of surprising. So let's get shot at. Here we go. Sniper. No effect. Nope, ran away. Let's go occupy this terrain here. This is way better terrain for us. It gives us a morale boost of 3, plus it helps hide us, so less likely to be shot at, which is a massive difference between the morale of -1 there and lack of concealment. So I'm going to go into this building because it's a special building. It'll help protect us. We can prepare to assault there next time. I'm going to rake that with machine gun fire. Maybe we'll get lucky. I haven't started, no. I am maneuvering down here, though. Where is it? Here's Hill 43. I'm going to move down this road, and we're going to start getting ready to assault it. It's going to be a crappy situation. Oh, I ran into another sniper. Freaking fire truck. So there's a sniper here that we need to deal with. So we do have some mortars up here. Snipers. Snipers everywhere. They're the worst. I'm bringing my helicopters down. And we're going to get ready to land next turn. And we do have one more helicopter somewhere up here that we need to grab. Where is it? There it is. Alright. Nothing else? I don't think so. That's it. Gosh darn, eh? Can't fire. So let's call in our artillery. Ooh, what do we want to hit? We want to hit this hilltop, for sure. The 105s. Now we saw there was a sniper there. We can fire there. One thing to keep in mind is that even though I'm going to plot artillery, it might not... it might not be called. It might be cancelled. Especially if it's going to hit a village. Sometimes the higher-ups say, no, you can't actually fire at that. So, fair warning. We haven't seen that yet, but I'll show you when it happens. We have one more destroyer. Let's grab that destroyer. I worked with some of the folks back then. I loved the game. I never got around to it, though. Sometimes Mulligan sleeps in. Yeah, right. Touché. What do I want to hit? I think I'm going to use the destroyer and hit that location there. Because that's where that sniper was. Snipers are a pain in the rear. So we're going to flank this ridge. Hopefully take out that position there. That'll give us a good line of sight down on these villages. I am going to start maneuvering. And maybe get towards the cemetery. Maybe we can get into the cemetery. Because at least that'll provide us some protection. As we're assaulting into this village. I really want to take this hilltop. I'm so annoyed that we lost a helicopter, though. Okay, let's get this up in the sky. And let's fly that over here. So right now, we're flying Napa the Earth with this helicopter, which means it's behind this ridge. It's actually hiding as a, you know, that's a good thing. We don't want to get shot at. But we are going to take this thing out, hopefully next turn, because it is out in the open. We should be able to annihilate that with these rockets. I'm so annoyed. So annoyed. Let's see what happens. Wish I still had room for my old board games, plus the cat would destroy it at night. Yeah, that's true. Freaking sniper. Look at that, took a morale hit too. So it did fire twice. Oh, really? We lost a full squad to that sniper. So there is the recoilless rifle there still. And there's a machine gun there. Sniper. So this does give us more protection, as you just saw. We didn't take any losses. For occupying the core of An Quang for 3 turns, we gain 100 points, so that's kind of nice. Let's see, we have 0 out of 1 that have recovered morale. 1 headquarter, unable to provide supplies. So now that we have the headquarters that are stationary mostly, it is improving our supply situation. We have 1 artillery unit unavailable and 2 units low on ammo. Come on, some good hits. Look at that, totally missed. Destroyer, no idea if we're hitting anything. That's one unnerving part of this game, is that you just don't know. Oh, shoot. So, there's a rifle platoon there. And just like that, we ran into the bad guys. Alright, so we need some support. I should land over here. Ah, no, let's not risk it. Get the helicopters off the ground. You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to bring these infantry closer. Drop down. Unload. Get the heck out of Dodge. And I think I'm going to drop off these 2 units with the headquarters just to protect. Oh no, actually we should probably bring the flamethrowers down. But I'm going to leave the machine gun back here just for safety. Helicopters will send back next turn. And I think I'm going to bring down this helicopter here. Unload and unload and take off again. Alright, that's that. That's that part. That sniper fired both of its shots, so we should be able to get in there, I think. Let's fire first. Safety first. No joy. No joy. Okay, let's try an assault. Ah, we did reduce it, but we didn't take it out. That's too bad. We will get in there next turn, though, so that's encouraging. Hopefully there's no recoilless rifles, because I don't want to be losing my Ontos. That would suck. Ah, frick, there's a sniper. There's more snipers. Oh, no. Okay, well, that sucks. Can I get in here? No, he's disrupted now. Son of a... Is this a continuation of the John Tiller engine? It's a rebuild of the original campaign series engine. And it's significantly different now than it used to be for the old games of East Front, West Front, and Middle East. Or at that time it was Divided Ground, or Rising Sun and Divided Ground. So what we did is we completely rebuilt it. It's similar looking, but underneath the hood it's not similar at all. It's completely different. Especially in the way the AI works. The AI works much differently, and there's a lot of new features in this that weren't available before. Can I continue? Let's continue swinging around. Here's the moment of truth. Can I cross this? Oh, I can. Perfect. Okay. That means we can bring these other units over. So my goal here is to get to that cemetery without getting shot at. We have our tank support. Here, things are going to get ugly. I'm going to need to call in all my assets onto this position and this position. Now, I know there's snipers out here, which is annoying, but... where were the other troops? Oh, here. This is the other problem. Hill 43. Hill 43 is the worst. Oh, we can't see them. Crap. Okay, we know they're there. Oh, there's a machine gun back here. Let's try and get closer to the hill. Oh, this is going to be ugly. Ah, we lost the squad. Frick. Okay, now we're going to hit this with whatever artillery that we have. Man, that sucks. There was a machine gun here. Let's hit that. And this Howtar, I don't think we can hit anything. Let's maneuver around. Let's get our machine gun a little bit closer to get eyes on that. And then we'll bring up this other platoon. We're going to swing this platoon here since it's taken a morale hit and it's lost the squad already. We're going to bring it around and see if we can hit Fulong 2 here from the east. And then we'll send this platoon up the road to deal with that. Let's bring our gunships down here. I know that there's bad guys here. Hopefully, we do have opportunity fire during the turn. If they fire, we can shoot back. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Sorry, it's my work. First time I've caught a Twitch live stream here in some time. Hey, good to see you around, Lenore. I hope you're doing well. This is hard. This is turning out to be a messy fight already. Just gonna move all this stuff out towards the boats. I can use helicopters. Ah, we got stuck in behind. That's annoying. That's okay. Our headquarters, they're doing okay. These infantry, let's dig in. Until we get, I don't want to bring these things closer because we know there's a recoilless rifle there. They should be targeting these guys here, which is fine. But the machine gun support here would be helpful. I need airstrikes. That's what I need. We're almost in the cemetery, though. That'll be an important place to get into because that'll give us some cover. No effect. That's good. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Oh, that was not good. Oh, they're hitting their own civilians, which is causing me casualties or losing points. That sucks. There's that stupid sniper still. So each hex is 250 meters across, just FYI. Sniper up on that hill. Sniper here. There's that recoilless rifle. Looks very similar to the one I'm playing from his original works. This is Operation Starlite. Campaign Series Vietnam. Oh, there's a machine gun there too. More snipers. Ah, shoot. And we took a loss. Our engineer took a hit. Frickin' snipers. It would be wise to send the amphibious units back out to the transports to collect reinforcements. So yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. We have 2 units that are isolated. That's not good. We have 2 units that recovered morale out of 5. That's also not good. We have 3 headquarters unable to provide supply, which is terrible. And 1 artillery unit unavailable. That's normal. 2 units low on ammo. our destroyer support. With the fog of war and the way the LOS checks work, we still don't know what's in there. I'm going by the sound cues to identify what's in there. This is encouraging. So this top one got hit, double unknown effect. Bottom one got hit, double unknown effect. This is where the Americans have the advantage, is in the firepower. It's definitely the firepower. So this is down to 1 strength point. We can overrun that. Let's do that. Let's move our machine guns up into the trench and fire at these guys up here. This is probably going to be a bunker or something, so it's going to be a challenge to get into. Fire truck. So I don't have the strength to assault that, so I'm not going to, but I am going to get onto the same level as these things, so at least they don't have a 10% bonus for firing from an elevated position. Let's fire. I can't assault yet because they're disrupted, right? I can maneuver. But if you notice here, you'll see there's tunnels. So that's something that's new to these games, is that there's tunnels. And certain units can go into tunnels for the American side, but most units for the VC, NVA side can go in tunnels. And the tunnel network can be spread all around. You just no idea where it is unless you're playing the VC, then you know where it is. But you have no idea where the tunnels are. And at this point, the only way to really destroy the tunnels is using the engineers. In one of the boot camps, for example, you'll have tunnel rats that allow you to go into the tunnels. Also, special forces can go into the tunnels, but regular infantry platoons can't. Just as an FYI, that's how it works. Now, you can assault if you're in a tunnel, and I don't think you can do just regular combat because, you know, you're in a tunnel. So you're basically going to be assaulting. So your tunnel rats or your special forces are going to be assaulting inside the tunnels if they run into anything. But with the engineers, you can destroy the tunnel from above, making the tunnel totally useless. Alright, let's occupy the cemetery. And we didn't get shot at. That's encouraging. So we have a company now over here. Let's bring these guys over here too. Get some engineer support. And this company is going to focus on Antoine. This company is going to focus on... I don't know what it should focus on. Oh, we can see a machine gun. Let's fire at it. I'm going to assume this is going to be bunkers and trenches or improved positions, so it's going to be a challenge to get into. We're going to leave that there for support. Let's bring these tanks up. So the flamethrower tank, again, we need to be up close and personal in order for those to be effective. Now I know there is something there, I just can't see it. These guys are not happy, so I can't move closer. I'm going to move these vehicles closer to gain some support. Let's move this battalion headquarters a little closer. We'll leave the regimental headquarters back here. Actually, you know what? We are going to move them towards a landing zone, so we do have another place to... to refuel if we need to with the helicopters. And as that note said... Oh, if you ever wanted to look back at your notes... you can see the message log. So here it'll see, turn 9, it would be wise to send the amphibious units back. So if you forget something, it's here still. You can recall it. the important things anyways. We have a sniper here. Maybe we can get lucky and take this thing out. Let's do a hit with the Ontos first. No joy. It did fire twice. We should be able to assault this. Let's try. Our half-strength platoon. Man, that sucks already. There we go. So, we've secured that. That makes me happy. Let's get our engineer unit up there. Everyone's in the bunker. Move our Ontos a little bit closer for some support. And then we have to decide where we're going to go after. Probably head straight towards Van Tuong, or should we go along the coast? We'll decide that next time. By the way, I'm glad you're liking my Hell's Highway scenario posts. Oh, they're awesome. They really are. They're so interesting. And that's a great scenario, too, Rylander. It really is. Classic goodness, right? Alright, let's send these helicopters back. We don't need them anymore. The Chulai. Send these back. Alright, so we're in sniper hell here, so let's just advance. No, let's leave this guy back here. Can I double time this guy? Oh yeah, there we go. Again, we're focusing on that, try and capture that. Here, I'm going to dig in this machine gun. These mortars. We're going to move down south to get ready to assault Hill 43. Hill 43 is going to be terrible. Let's get a little bit closer. And just like that, frickin' Hill 43. John knows how terrible what I think about Hill 43. Alright, it did fire twice. We can bring in our helicopter and we can do some firing at it. And pull back. We do have some mortar support. We'll be using that here pretty quick to try and get into Hill 43. Are you using any graphics mod for this? No, right now it's just the standard. Oh, no, I do have a graphics mod. I do have the tint mod, the elevation, the hypsometric tint mod. But you're not going to notice that because the elevations here are so low. You can kind of see it here. They're usually a little bit brighter than they would be. But you'd notice that on a different one. Otherwise, I use the... There's a mod for trucks inside, but this doesn't have any, so it doesn't really matter. I will be... So, the last thing that we did... I don't know if we can see it here. Let's see. Yeah, so here, if you look carefully, we did improve the slopes. I do have to adjust the slopes for my mod, unfortunately. So if we turn off the contours, you'll see that the slopes are highlighted now. So it's much easier to see where they are, for sure. But I need to modify these slope colors in order for it to match my mod that I have included in the game. So yeah, something to keep in mind. This is a brand new thing, the slopes, just to make things easier to see. Super handy. One of those wish list things that have been on the list for 1,000 years, and Petri incorporated it for the 1.31 mod and 2.31 mods, just as an FYI. Alright. Otherwise, the units are all the same. They're standard units. These guys, they got hit hard. That kind of sucks. I'm going to stop digging this guy in. And hopefully they can fire. Actually, let's draw some fire if we can. No joy. Gosh darn it. What do I want to do? Okay, let's start prioritizing our artillery. That's a good hit. That is a good hit. We want to get into there. We probably are 2, maybe 3 turns away from actually getting in there. That kind of sucks. There's a machine gun there. I'm going to assume there's something here too. Now I might get penalized for that because we haven't identified anything there yet. Well, we'll see. Otherwise, destroyer, destroyer, and let's hit that. Oh, and our Howtar, which is a special marine thing. Let's hit that mortar again. Alright, bada boom, let's see what happens. So I only got a few minutes left, so... Oh yeah, hey, thanks for the birthday wishes, I appreciate that. Sorry. This guy's getting hit by snipers on both sides. Oh, that sucks. Anyways, I was going to say we only have a couple minutes left, so thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's my birthday today, as John pointed out. So yeah, thanks for that special day. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. As I mentioned before, I do stream on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. And also Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. I usually do Middle East on Wednesdays, and I do Vietnam on Sundays. I usually go over the things that I'm working on at the same time. Usually that's the first 5 or 10 minutes. Just FYI. Hey, no, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. And if you have any questions, we do have a Discord, or you can just message me offline and I can tell you, answer any questions at all, for sure. It's not on Steam, unfortunately. You'll have to beg and plead with Slitherine to make that happen. That'd be handy. But you can find it at the Matrix Games site. We're getting hit hard here. This sucks. Most of the smaller arm engagements have no effect. Well, again, yes and no. It depends on the situation and the terrain. So as you saw over here, the units out in the open, they are more likely to be reduced because they are out in the open. But if you're in a village, you have more options to hide. Yeah. Also keep in mind that I have really high defense and I have a high morale. Those impact the strength. But like here, we just got a loss from this sniper that fired at us from over here, from 750 meters away. Over here, sorry. Now, we took 2 losses there. We lost a full squad to sniper fire. It sucks. Civilians on the move, and just like that. Here comes the artillery. Now we might get lucky here. Oh, there's a sniper right behind us. Didn't even see it. Look at that. That's aircraft machine gun. And another machine gun. They are half squads. Yep, the unit numbers are half squads. Except for the weapons teams, they're... So here, for example, this means that there's 3 machine guns here. But here, this means that there's 3 squads. 6 means 3 squads. Just as an FYI. Alright, I think I'm being pushed off. So, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your support. Feel free to tune into my channel. And, yeah, take care. Smile always. Talk to you soon.